I'm going to give you 5 steps. Maybe I'll throw in a couple more on an abundance mindset. How do we get an abundance mindset? Because thoughts are things and you're creating. I'm going to show you how. I'm going to give you some simple steps to start focusing on and make you aware of how you might be in a lack mentality and how you can shift into an abundance mindset. So let's get started right now. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through the fears, live an amazing life. I'm going to give you the tools to manifest anything. We're not going to talk about destiny and contracts, life contracts and all that stuff. We're going to talk about the fact that you have free will and that you can shift a lack mentality, which is resulting most likely in a life of lack and struggle, financial struggle, right? Or maybe abundance in other areas that is just not flowing to you. How do we shift out of that? You can totally do it. So no, you're not destined to be poor your whole life. If you came here as a poor person, and struggled, maybe you grew up never having anything. That is just an experience that you have that allows you to shift out into something else. In other words, you don't have to remain a person of poverty or struggle. You can learn how to create wealth, and perhaps that's what you're meant to do here, is to go ahead and pull out of that and understand that you can change any situation here. So you experienced that and you can shift into wealth. So don't think for a minute, well, I was born into poverty and this is where I am. But here is where we are challenged. There is a mindset there that you learned, that you're used to, and you may even be comfortable with that. So see, I'm still, I'm in my jammies and I'm having my coffee. So we're going to get started. I'm going to give you some steps and things for you to just focus on, simple tools to start to shift you out of any kind of lack mentality into an abundance mindset. So let's start with the fact that if you came from poverty or struggle, or you went through a time period in your life and maybe continually struggled with finances, here's what's happened. You've been conditioned. You'll have a lack mentality and you'll have a tendency to go back to that because the brain automatically goes back to what it knows. It's just wired. We have to rewire the brain. How do you do that? You have to recognize, you guys, my mobile app is out. I'll put the link down in the description. It's right now, as of this video, it's just for Androids. But what I do with you is I just shift you throughout the day into a positive thought. I gently take you in a positive thought, a little gentle music. It just shifts you over. Nothing radical, but it disrupts any negative thought patterns. And here's the problem. We know that we have them. How do we catch them? So I created it's free. Mobile app is free. I created this app so that you could schedule times in there for it to go off all day to catch yourself. So that's the number one thing. You have to catch those negative thoughts that are pre-wired, that you're comfortable with. You're comfortable with criticizing people or being negative or I'm never going to have money. So we have to have a thought disruptor and catch ourselves in any negative thoughts. So let's go into that. What are those negative thoughts? Here's the second thing, all right? First of all, we're going to catch ourselves in negative thoughts of any kind. So abundance for me is higher frequency, positive things, opening up to all the probabilities. When you shift into a positive thinking about everything, not just abundance and money and whatever else we're covering here, but about everything, then you have a loving, open, expansive, higher frequency. And that opens you up to abundance when you're giving, loving, happy, right? But here's what's happening with most people who struggle financially. There is some kind of resentment, anger, or experience that they're carrying forward, and so they have something back here that's telling them that this is who they are, this is what they are, and that wealth or anything abundant out there is separate from them. They're staying in, is this you? Are you staying in the comfort zone of being broke or struggle? Have you ever gotten money and you find out that you lose it again? You know, what is it? 87% of lottery winners end up broke. How is it? They have not learned how to be abundant. So first of all, get those negative thoughts all day. A lot of them are going to be resentment, anger, all these. Get the negative thoughts out. All right? So the second thing we want to do after we're catching ourselves is to ask ourselves, where are those thoughts coming from? Why am I having them? We need to question that, because an abundance mindset, and I don't like to go into analysis and, you know, why mommy and daddy didn't love me. You know how I feel about that. You're just reliving it. We just need to know why you're thinking that. So if you know it's because your parents were negative or you learned something, you know it. You don't always have to have some deep analytical explanation for it. You just have to say, this is a learned behavior. So ask yourself, is that a learned behavior? Because there's two types. There's a lot more than that, but we're going to just tackle two types of thoughts right now, negative thoughts. One is unconscious, learned behavior, and the second one is triggered by anger, resentment, and other things that come up that reflect out there what you're feeling. So have you ever had somebody get mad at you about something, you're thinking, what's the big deal? It's about a subject that they don't feel good about themselves, right? So if they're lashing out, that's a subject matter that they themselves are angry about. So never when somebody gets angry, just you gotta let it go, right? It's their thing. Just let it go. All right. So the question is, what is at the root of those negative thoughts? All right. If you're critical of other people, you're not feeling good about yourself. Okay, is this a learned behavior, or am I just struggling with something here? Did I learn this? Now, I have to tell you, the most challenging one to overcome is the learned behavior. It is a comfort zone. I just automatically criticize people, right? Or I automatically resent wealthy people. And so you have to ask yourself, why would I think this? So go at the root of that thought. Where did it come from? Is it learned? And if it's learned, I can switch that thought. Then that goes back to step number one. I got to catch those thoughts. There's a learned behavior. And so you could just name it that. Say, there's a learned behavior. Now, if we have something that's showing up that is just anger, resentment, you know, because you're broke, so you think other people shouldn't, you know, I hear this all the time. Things should be free. No, they shouldn't be free. You want to earn money, right? We all want to earn money. We all want to flourish, and we all can flourish. Abundance is unlimited. It really is. So wish that for other people. If somebody is giving value and earning amazing amounts of money, yay! And what they do with it is none of our damn business. All right? So we got to stop the judgment. Just let it go. What are you going to do with your wealth? That's what counts. Right? And what are you giving for it? What value are you giving for it? So start thinking that way. Is this resentment? Do I have resentment for people who have abundance? Do you find yourself saying things like, oh, they got things handed to them, and oh, they never had to work for anything, and you didn't go through what I've gone through? Because now you're feeling helpless and you feel like you haven't chosen these things. You're not learning anything from it. You know, you don't find value in it because you chose it for a reason. If you've been challenged, somebody asked me about terminal illness. What about that? Did I choose that? I said, yeah. If you're not finding the value in it, what did you learn from it? You know, you chose something really amazing to evolve. That's a real big challenge. Congratulations. Yeah, so those of us who came here for, you know, a nice easier ride, it's never easy here, right? You know, a much smoother ride. You know, we have our own things we're supposed to focus on. For me, I didn't need all those challenges because I was meant to come into place to be a teacher, right? To share and help others. And me traumatized in working through my own stuff for 20 years wasn't going to place me in that position. So you have a role to play. Do you accept all of this, all right? Am I coming from negativity anger, and this has to be released. All right, so you go back, catching yourself. Ask yourself, is this a learned behavior, unconscious? I don't even know why I'm picking on that person. I don't even know why I'm angry about a rich person. You know, it's a learned behavior. Or second of all, am I holding back anger, resentment, maybe not forgiving, doing something that has projected this negative energy out there? Because I'm going to tell you why I'm emphasizing this step 2 so much. Because negativity blocks abundance, right? You can manifest all kinds of stuff, but that's not abundance. Abundance, true abundance, is when your life is flowing and everything comes in, and it's just not just money. Things will come in, the right people, the right situations. Everything starts to show up because you've let everything go and there are no barriers. I want you to imagine that sunshine out there. Money, health, wealth, love, awakening outside that door, and you've got it shut tight and you've got boulders up against it, right? Big old rocks, and that's resentment and hate, and I shouldn't be this and they shouldn't be wealthy. Well, the wealthy people are on the other side having a good old time, right? And I'm not talking about wealthy, good or bad. I'm just talking about abundance at this moment. We're not going to judge what other people do with their own journeys, their own lives, or their money. All right? So the resentment for you, if you're going into that space and you're really just frustrated at other people, once again, you're seeing yourself as separate from them. What do you want to do? I don't know about you, but I want to hang out with those people. What are you doing? Tell me what you're doing. So I choose people. You guys know this. You see this all the time. This is the most amazing community you'll ever join. I got trained on how to create an online business, and the whole platform's around giving value. Yes, creating abundance for ourselves, being rewarded. All these things cost a lot of money, but we're giving value. And so I don't want to learn how to make money online. I want to be with people who are making a difference on the planet and financially being rewarded. It is actually the second thing that we talk about. The first thing is, what am I giving? So I want to hang out with those people, right? So I don't look and say, oh, they're, multi-millionaires. And no, they worked to get that. How did you get that? Teach me. Because I like your philosophy on life. I love that you're giving and you want to make a difference, and that you giving a lot of stuff, and that, yeah, you get rewarded too. That you're a millionaire. Yay, you're doing it both. You're doing it all. How amazing is that? I'm so excited about what I'm doing with my life. I found that pathway, and I'm picking the right people to hang around with, and they are abundant. Do you want to hang around with other people because, hey, yeah, those wealthy people, oh, yeah, high five, and then, you're trying to pay your bills? No. Choose higher frequency people. Choose people that have been there, done that. They know what it's like, and I guarantee you all these speakers have been through so much. They've pulled out even people like even in Tony Robbins, who lived out of his car, okay? So you want to learn from them. Those are amazing people. Yes, yay, they're rich. Get that out of your head, that there's a divider between you and them. The only difference between you and them is they took the action out of that thinking, out of those actions. They didn't want to be that person anymore, and so they hung out with the other people who did the same thing. Bob Proctor, right? I think he lasted 2 months in high school. He got kicked out because he said he was so stupid. I don't believe that for a minute, that he's stupid. All right, so this is critical, all right? Let me have a sip of coffee because we're going to keep going on this. Your thoughts are everything. Catching them is everything. Finding out why those negative patterns are coming back is everything. When you break those two things, paying attention to them and finding out where they're coming from, you will shift into the light. And then what you do over there could be amazing. Whatever you want. So I want you to do something. So step number 3 is, do you know what that abundant life is? Do you know what it is? I want you to write it down. Write down on a piece of paper, just one thing. I have my course, One Big Thing, is coming out soon. I promise you that. It's more of an advanced manifesting. We choose one thing. because I'm training you on how to manifest. What's that one thing? Because most of you who have not manifested, if there's one thing you really want and you haven't manifested, that's usually the one place in your life where there's a block. All right? So if there's a block there, we have to find out what it is. Now, if you go through my Breakthrough Fear class, I still have the discount. You get it for a year. Go down. Inspiration with Landria is the code. You get this thing. People have been taking it for a year. They're going back and taking it over and over again. And they're shifting and shifting and shifting out of the fear and finding out where the fear is coming from. One big thing is when we choose something. We choose something that we would really desire. Now, here's what you have to know, and I think we all know this stuff. We've heard it 1,000 times out here on the internet, right? You have to know it's done. So what we're going to do in step number 3 is we're going to work on the thoughts, catching them. We're going to find out where they're coming from, recognize them, and not react to them. This third step is we're going to know what we desire. We're going to choose that life. We're going to choose that thing, because that thing that you're choosing has some kind of a blocker barrier. And so you're probably over here on the negative thoughts, the frustration, rich people are jackasses or whatever else. Hey, listen, poor people are jackasses too. We're all, we're on the planet of jackasses. So accept it. Work on you. What is that one thing that you desire? Put it on a piece of paper, and I want you to write it as if it's already done. You write it on a piece of paper and you say, I am. I am. And so let's be a little bit more specific. You know me, I like to leave it open on how and when. Instead of saying it must be that job I have to get, just say the best job for me, or that job or better, or that relationship or better. But leave it open, because we as human beings, we limit ourselves so much that we're always picking things that really are nowhere near what we're capable of. So I like to always say, this is what I desire. Take me where that expansive place is. Take me there and beyond. As long as it's good for me and others. I always want to give. I always want to serve. So the third thing, write it on a piece of paper. I am, or I have. And you can say, a 6-figure a year job, if that's what you want. A new home and a perfect environment, and say, don't make it a long one. That's a journal. I just want you to put this on a piece of paper and carry it with you. I am wealthy. I am happy. I am whatever it is you choose. I am in a new, high-paying, amazing job. I am financially secure. All my bills are easily paid, and I can buy luxuries. Some small statement you put on a piece of paper and you carry it everywhere with you. And you pull that baby out and you constantly look at it. So when you go into those negative thoughts, you catch yourself, you pull your piece of paper out. And then you ask yourself, what are those thoughts? Is that a learned behavior? Bye-bye, not going to do it anymore. Okay, we got some feelings here. It's not learned behavior. I'm just angry. I got to work on that. Why am I angry? Because the ego wants something it's not getting. So it wants to blame the world. The world's not at fault. The world is offering you everything if you choose it. And you set your goal. You've placed your order to the universe. I want you to do something in step number 4. Step number 4 is when we understand what we're doing, where our thoughts are coming from, and then we know what we want. Now we have to flip over into abundance. We're going to flip into abundance. I call it flip this thought. So what is flip this thought? This is when you take every negative thought and you say the opposite of it to cancel it out. And you're going to do it all day. I'm going to flip this thought. I'm going to flip this thought. I got to catch them. I got to see what that is, because they're going to keep coming back. It's going to keep coming back. If you're angry, or if you've got this learned behavior, it's just going to keep showing up. You keep over and over. Oh, I catch it. Oh, there it is. What are we going to do about it? I know what I want. I know what I desire. Those are all barriers to this. If I caught a negative thought, it's a barrier to this thing I just wrote on the piece of paper. What am I going to do? Step number 4, I'm going to flip this thought. Everyone has access to unlimited abundance. Everyone. Everyone. You are energy. You have never been created. You've always existed. You can never be destroyed. So you're not this body. So I guarantee you, you're unlimited. Because we do things on the other side that are just, no big deal, right? We just have everything there. It's amazing. That's why we're here. We have to work for things here. That's the journey, is to experience what it's like to have limitations and move past them, right? Because they're self-imposed. When we believe that we have limitations, we have to understand we're the power of the universe. We are the one. All of us. Everything is. Everything you see is. It's all just one energy. So it has the ability to transform into anything it wants. And you are that energy that can do that. So somebody said, if I came here with an illness, do I have to remain ill? No, this is part of your transformation. So if you're not in an abundant mindset, your transformation is, okay, I came here to learn some lessons, to not be resentful toward other people, to know that I have the power to be abundant too, and that I want to share that with others, not be angry at those who have it, or tell them that they shouldn't make money, or I love, my favorite one is, spiritual teachers shouldn't make money. No, let's give all our money to the pharmaceutical companies and stuff. So this is this mindset that we have. Abundance in the hands of positive people who are caring and giving and loving is when this world will change. And if you go into that positive space, abundance flows to you. Imagine what you can do with it. Oh gosh, you guys say, I want to win the lottery so I can get, build homes for homeless people. No, you don't. You want to win the lottery so you can pay your bills. Be honest about that. It's okay to take care of you first. Pull the oxygen mask down and breathe. Because if you don't, you're going to pass out and you can't save anybody else out, right? Unless, the plane crashes, then we're all going to go anyways. But let's not go there. What are you going to do? What are you going to do with this thought? It's all about you. It's not about them and what they did or whatever. This is your journey. This is like, I experienced all of this so I can break through it. I'm going to go into an abundance mindset. What is that? Oh, that was a lesson for me. I had parents who were told this because their parents were told this and their parents were told this. Can you love and forgive them? Can you send them healing? What a horrible place to be in if they never pulled out of it. You can pull out of it. You can pull out of anything you want. You have to shift this. We're going to flip this thought. How do you flip this thought? Now, in 3-second manifesting, we just switch over. We switch over. I catch myself, I switch over, and you have a chosen thought. So it might be the loving relationship or, the new job or whatever. And you do that all day, which is great. But what I want to do in the abundance mindset is the fourth flip this thought is every negative thought, I want you to switch it to the opposite positive thought. My boss is a jerk. My boss is, and you don't have to say, my boss is an amazing light being, and you're going, no, he's not, or she, right? You can just say, my boss is another student on the planet learning just like I am. How am I going to handle this situation? How am I reacting? Am I being the angry person? Am I resentful? Let's look at me. Let's turn that light on me. That boss is just a test for you. It's all a test. All of it is. Are you passing the test? Or are you going into the space of lack and anger and all this stuff? Let's get out of that. You can do and be anything you desire. Your life can be amazing if you choose it. That probability exists right now. Somebody had a time shift and they said a building that is there wasn't there. And they went back and the building was there. He said, he or she, I can't remember, said, what happened to that building and the people in the building? And I said, they all existed. You were in a time shift. You were there either before or after that building was there. They were actually in that building. Everything was happening right there at that time. You guys were in a different dimension. You just didn't see it. You can't see each other. Stuff's going on in this room. It's endless. This is mind-blowing stuff. And then we get in this box about, I feel like I'll never get out of this. No, of course you can get out of it. You can change anything. There are 1,000,001 stories out there of people who've gotten themselves off the street and become millionaires. How do you do that? Neil Donald Walsh is one of them, right? So I want you to understand, Eckhart Tolle lived on a bench, park bench for 2 years in bliss. He was okay. He was okay. But he doesn't want to be broke. He don't want to be broke. Right? He's not very much help to people if he's broke. If you tell yourself that, then you're going to stay broke. All right, so here we are. You have a thought. My boss is a jerk. Let's neutralize it or take it up a notch. My boss is my greatest teacher. He's a student too, here learning. How am I going to handle this? Wow, thank you for this opportunity to see if I'm all that. Am I really awakened? Somebody wrote me, I have all these positive emails going out to people about my internet marketing and how you can shift your life, and I'm going to help you do that. And my mentoring's for free when you come over. When you buy the training, then I actually mentor for free. It's worth thousands of dollars. I do this because I want people to be successful. Somebody wrote me and said, you think you know everything? And I said, for me, I do. If you don't believe in yourself and you don't believe in your own thoughts, what is that? You can't manifest anything. So that here we go. And I say, you don't have to believe what I say. Believe what you do. Does it bother you that I feel confident about what I say and what I believe? Whatever you believe is fine. So what are you believing about yourself? You're not worthy. I'm not worthy. I'm this and that. So if you have those thoughts, you should feel very confident in your thoughts. So if you have a thought that you don't believe what you're saying, that you know it all for you, not in an egotistical kind of way, but I know I can be wealthy. But if you're not believing it, you have to switch that thought into one where you can believe it. So if you say, I will, oh my God, I'll never be wealthy. Like you stop and you say, all probabilities exist for me right now, and I can choose any one that I desire, and I choose a higher one. So if you don't believe when you say, oh, I'm wealthy, and you're not believing it. That's why I said to somebody about vision boards. If you have a vision board, I said, vision boards, throw the damn thing out. If you're looking at it and you're looking at it as something that you can't have or that you don't have or it reminds you of lack, it's working against you. Love vision boards. I'm a very visual person. I love to look at things and say yes, and I've manifested so many things by doing that. But usually it's the things that are easy to get. When we look at a vision board as something that we seem so far away from us, the thoughts behind looking at that vision board are, I don't know how I'm ever going to get that, right? So you switch into a thought and you say, all things are possible. So that's a higher frequency, and you don't have to say I'm wealthy or I'm a millionaire or whatever. And not even for a minute believe it. All things are possible, and I know that opportunities are coming to me now. All things are possible. Opportunities are coming to me right now, and I accept them. So you're already thinking about the positive things that you can say that you can believe. All right, so I want you to believe it. So pick a thought, flip this thought into something you can believe. All right, or go to neutral. My boss is another student on this planet learning. This is my test. Thank you. Thank the universe. Step number 5. Thank the universe. After you flipped your thoughts, you know what? Those lessons, those tough lessons, woo-wee. If you evolve from them and you make some good choices, guess what? You're going to go to an amazing place. Not only just on this planet, but beyond. You may not have to come back if you master some of these challenges instead of being resentful and angry and whatever else, striking out and saying nasty things to people. Never say a negative thing to someone. Always be constructive, right? We can do some spiritual butt kicks in a very positive, nice way. So my question to you is then, step number 5, are you grateful? Are you grateful? And if you don't feel grateful right now, you better find something. Because I guarantee you, no matter what you're going through, there's somebody who has it worse than you do. And that's not a reason to be grateful, but know that you do have you do have. Now, I know some of my subscribers have gone through horrible times and now made it to amazing times, gotten out of, some of them I've had people tell me they lived in vans, and other people have struggled, and I'm not going to say names, but I've seen this transformation, and some of it's taken a little bit of time. So give yourself that time. Gratitude. Do you know the two most powerful words? If you've seen the Dr. Emoto tests on water, where they speak words to water and then they look closely at them, under a microscope, and they look at their crystals, beautiful crystals for positive words. If you say negative words to the water, it's black and crumbled up, right? This is energy. Everything's connected. So when they tested the words, the two most powerful words, love and gratitude. So include that in. So it's not about, switching my thoughts, here's the thing I want, and I'm going to flip my thought, and it's all me, 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 me. Gratitude. When you go into gratitude, you can go into a state of giving. When you're thankful, you feel abundant, right? You feel abundant when you're thankful. You're saying, you know what? I do have a roof over my head. I do have food. I do have a loving family. Or maybe I have a jackass family, but I have a family, right? You guys know all my family all died within a couple of years. All of them. My immediate family. My brother, my mom, my dad, my brother, both of my pets. Boom, 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 my cousin. What's that? Right? And you can't reverse that. So if you have loved ones around you, gosh, be thankful. I do have a family. I do have a mom that I can call. I do have a really good friend. I do have a car. Whatever it is, find something every day to be thankful. And then bless that. Bless that coffee, that amazing coffee. Oh, I love my coffee. Bless your water before you drink it. Bless the food on your table. And know that everything's going to be okay. And go into the abundant mindset. And when you go in and you control those thoughts and you observe them, you understand where they're coming from, and you let them go. You flip the thought. You got to flip that thought, right? Know what you want, desire, and know that that situation, that thing that you desire, has been put out to the universe, and look at it. Remind yourself every day, every moment, this is what's existing right now for me. And so we're going to go into more videos, and of course in my courses we say, okay, what's the next step? You have to start taking action. So when you know all this is done, you cannot stay in the same place. This is why I work so much with you guys on your thoughts. You cannot stay in those thoughts and have anything change. So when you start flipping and changing these thoughts, putting your universal request out and being grateful, you are now switching into different frequency, switching in different thinking. And that's when things start to come to you. And of course we have to take action, but we're going to talk about all that later on. You have 5 things to start with. What are these 5 things? They're really changing how you see the world, your situation, catching yourself in old patterns and trying to understand where they're coming from, and releasing any negativity that's just not serving you or others well. It does more damage to you. And this is where a lot of illnesses come from. Anger, resentment. Let it go. Let it go. And open up to abundance. I hope this was helpful. Here's your 5 steps. I'm going to run them for you. Get busy. You are whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Please subscribe if you haven't. And I have different playlists if there's a certain subject that you love. Also, free workshop for my internet marketing. Amazing people. Whole platforms changing lives. It's not just about how to make money online. We're past that. We want to live amazing lives. We want to give to one another and share. Okay? And then, of course, you can go to landriaonkka.com down in the description. You can look for all my courses. You can sign up for my free email list, 5 ways to manifest anything, where you get all the codes, free stuff, discounts, all kinds of things. And once a week you get a video from me where we talk about changing our lives to that which we desire to manifest, and you have that capability. Wishing you love, health, wealth, abundance, and awakening. Namaste.